Hi, my name is Roger Schluter. This video is on how to pick a bank. If you're going to borrow money and you need to pick a bank, a lot of people come up to me and say, gee, I don't have a bank, so can you find me one? And yeah, I can. But a lot of times, if you do your own due diligence, you can find somebody you're comfortable with. Basically, we always say, number one, go to your current bank, whoever you're banking with. The problem sometimes is that that bank doesn't really work out to do your business loans. So anyway, the other is ask, and then when you talk to your bank, ask who does business loans at the bank, and talk to a business lender. Don't talk to just a teller, and don't talk to I mean, these people are fine, but you need to talk to somebody who can actually write up a business loan and get it approved. The other, ask the business. You can ask other businesses and other people you know. They will be glad to talk to you, especially businesses, and they will probably tell you what experience they have had with these different banks. And people will too. They'll tell you experiences, and they usually are very forthcoming with this information, especially if they know you're looking for a business loan. The best to go to is the small banks, I would say, or credit unions. And usually, they usually make small loans. Small banks and credit unions don't make, they usually don't make $10 million loans. They make a few maybe, but a lot of their loans are like between 100,000 and $2 million. So this is a lot of times when you're in a small business of the range that you're looking for. Credit unions tend to be a little conservative, at least in the Midwest. So, I would take that, if you go to a credit union and they don't approve it or they don't want to do it, don't let that deter you. Go ahead to other banks, other small banks. Stay away from the big mega banks, and you know who those are. They're the ones that are nationally known, and nationally they're in every city. Those banks, they make their money on big corporations and large borrowers. They do not make their money doing small business loans. And a lot of times you'll find that a bank, they do the same amount of work for a small loan as they do a very large loan. So a lot of times, I mean, they might as well do the large loans if they have them available. But small banks really don't, their niche is a little smaller. They don't do the huge mega loans. So a lot of times they'll be glad to look at any loan, any size. So anyway, and I've said this before in another video, but I remember the person that came to me and said, "Oh yeah, I just talked to my mega bank, and they said, they were asking for about 100,000, and the bank said, why don't you just put it on a credit card?" And I'm like, I don't have $100,000 on my credit card. I mean, think about that. There's not a lot of people that have a credit card with $100,000 on it. So anyway, but that's how they think. They're thinking larger loans. They're not thinking of smaller loans. Anyway, for new businesses, you really need to look at you might want to look at a bank who specializes in SBA loans, and there'll be those in every city. There'll be at least one bank that specializes in doing SBA loans. But you don't want to walk in and say, hey, I want an SBA loan, because a lot of times, if you're thinking you need an SBA loan, then you might be a lot worse than they think, because usually the bank makes that decision. Banks that specialize in SBA really only do SBA 7A loans. That is a guaranteed loan. And so you're kind of limited to that one type of loan. But if you're just trying to get a loan and you're new, a new business, then that might be the way to go. If you're an existing business or a new business, the way really to look at finding a lender is to go ahead and do your small business proposal, your short small business proposal. You can use mine, or you can use another lender's or another person, another consultant's. But anyway, put something together and make it information that the bank is going to use to make that determination. I know mine does that. They ask what a bank wants to know, and they don't ask for a whole lot of fluff that the bank is going to care about. Talk to 4 or 5 banks, and you want to pitch them give them that proposal, and then you want to say, hey, why don't you come down to my business, on this day or 2 days. And a lot of times you can get them, they'll all come down. They'll come down to your business and see what it's about, and go ahead and talk to you about your business plan, your short business proposal. So anyway, an example of this is I had a sort of a gym that we were trying to finance, and I was the consultant helping someone get this loan. So basically, I contacted 4 banks and had them all to actually come to the gym on the same day so they could see the workout routines and what it was all about. And so I get 1 bank who didn't care. I get 1 bank who couldn't come that day. They were going to come another day, but they weren't really interested either. I got another bank that was her neighbor that said, I'm not interested. And then we had the other bank that actually ended up doing the loan. So you really never know. I mean, loan officers are they're motivated by different things. I mean, sometimes they want to do new loans. Sometimes it may be too small for them. They don't want to mess around with it. Sometimes when you're talking newer loans or, even some existing loans that have been around for a while, they just may figure it's not, oh, well, I don't know if this is really worth my time. So you want to get a motivated lender, somebody who wants to make loans and looks at you as like somebody who, I'm going to lend you money in the future. I'm going to make money for the bank. So anyway, normally when you're when you're going in for a business loan, you want to ask for a business loan, and that means to a bank a conventional business loan. And you don't start out with, I want to get an SBA loan, because they're going to look at it as there's something wrong with it, because that's an SBA loan. It's not the perfect loan. There's something wrong of why the bank needs to do SBA with it and get either an SBA guarantee or something. At least that's on these 7A loans. So anyway, the banker is the one who really decides the type of loan. The banker decides whether he wants to use an SBA or not. It is probably, I know you hate to say this, but it's really not your decision. It's the bank's decision. And if they don't want to do it as an SBA, they'll just tell you, we don't do SBA. We're not going to do it. The conclusion on this picking a bank is that you want to go to banks that know you if you can. If you bank at a certain bank, go to them, tell them you bank with them, tell them they can look up your accounts, and then find out who that loan officer is for that bank. Have a short loan proposal, something that is going to address the items that the banker wants to address, because that banker is going to have to take this and make his own proposal and take it to his board. So the more you can make this answer his questions, he doesn't have to do anything, and he's very happy. He still has to write it on his form. He still has to make sure it makes sense and make sure it's done correctly. But I'm telling you, it makes his life a lot easier. And then also, you want to start with, I want a business loan. Don't say I want to start with an SBA loan. Just say, I want a business loan. And, you may just get a conventional business loan, which is going to be cheaper and have less fees. So anyway, that's it. That's the end of the video. Thank you very much. I hope you subscribe. I hope if you got any good value out of this, that you would hit the like button. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.